Hey everyone, feeling ready to dive into something really practical today. We're going to unpack emergency funds. You know that thing you always hear you should have?
Yeah, it's one of those things that honestly can feel a bit intimidating at first.
Right, like where do you even begin? But that's what we're here for, right? To break it down.
Totally. And the articles you shared, they're great for this. It seems like we're starting with the basics, which is perfect.
Exactly. Like back to the drawing board. What is an emergency fund? Why is it so important for, well, everyone?
One article pointed out this myth that emergency funds are only for, like, the super rich.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But it's just not true. It's for anyone who wants to feel financially secure. Seriously.
I love that.
Yeah,
Taking control, right, no matter where you're starting from.
exactly.
So let's break it down. What is this mystical emergency fund?
Okay, so basically it's money set aside specifically for those unexpected things life throws at you, like a financial cushion.
Mm.
So you don't have to rack up credit card debt or touch your long-term savings when something comes up.
Okay, so it's all about peace of mind, knowing you've got a backup.
Exactly.
One article said that going into credit card debt for an emergency, it could cost you thousands in interest over time.
Absolutely. It's a slippery slope. Easier to stay out of debt than to climb your way out,
Yeah.
And that's exactly where the emergency fund comes in.
Yeah, it's like having that safety net so those unexpected expenses don't completely derail your finances.
Exactly.
Mm.
Staying resilient. And you know what? Having that stability can open up possibilities you might not have considered otherwise.
Okay, now you've really got my attention. Opening up possibilities. Tell me more.
Okay, so imagine you've always wanted to switch careers or maybe even start your own thing. But that fear of financial instability, it holds you back.
It's a big one for sure.
Having a solid emergency fund, it gives you that confidence boost to actually take the leap.
Wow. So it's not just about surviving those uh-oh moments, it's about actually thriving.
Yes, exactly. Less stress, less anxiety, more freedom to focus on what matters.
This is making me feel more relaxed already. Okay, so we've established that emergency funds are basically amazing.
Right. Like your financial superhero.
I like that. But most of us don't have $1 million lying around to just like throw into a savings account, right?
Definitely not. It's not about that.
So how do we actually build this emergency fund? One article mentioned figuring out how much to save, but honestly, that already has me a little overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. The numbers can definitely feel intimidating.
Right.
But the good news is there's no magic number. It's not one size fits all. It's about your own peace of mind, really.
Okay, I like that. So less about rigid formulas, more about what feels right for each of us, but how do we even start that self-assessment?
Well, instead of months of expenses, try thinking. What are your biggest financial fears? What would really keep you up at night?
Okay, getting real with our anxieties. I like it.
Right. Is it losing your job? Medical bills? Maybe a huge home repair?
Yeah, okay. So by identifying those what ifs, we can get a better sense of what would actually make us feel secure.
Exactly. Let's say job security is a big one for you. Having a larger emergency fund, maybe closer to those 6 months of living expenses, it might make you feel a lot better, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if you've got a stable job, consistent income, maybe a smaller safety net is enough.
It's like choosing the right size life jacket, right? One article mentioned that. You wouldn't wear a kid size if you were heading out on a fishing trip.
Perfect analogy. It's about finding what you need to feel confident and safe. Not the biggest one, but the right one.
This is so interesting. So it's psychology and math.
Absolutely. Because finances,
Yeah,
they're emotional. That emergency fund, it's empowering. You shift from feeling vulnerable to feeling in control.
it's true. Okay, so we've faced our financial fears. We have a better idea of how much to save. But now the real challenge, actually putting this into action. Any tips on how to do this without feeling totally deprived? So we've got our metaphorical life jackets picked out, but how do we actually buy them? It's not as easy as wanting it really badly, is it?
Yeah. If only. But no, it doesn't quite work that way. One of the articles had a good point, though. Start small. Be consistent. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. What if you started with just 50 or 100 bucks a month, even if it doesn't seem like much at first?
Baby steps, right. It's like that whole journey of 1,000 miles thing.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna lie, sometimes even those small steps can feel tough, especially when those treat yourself moments pop up. Or, another surprise bill.
Oh, tell me about it.
Hmm.
It's finding those strategies that really work for you. One thing that really helped me, automating my savings.
Automating.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Think about it. You pay your rent, your utilities on time, those are non-negotiables.
True. I'd be in trouble if I didn't.
Exactly. So why not treat your savings the same way? Make it automatic, like those bills.
Oh, I like that. So it's gone before I can even think about spending it.
Exactly. Out of sight, out of mind. Another thing that came up in the articles, finding those hidden pockets of money. It doesn't have to be drastic, just little adjustments here and there.
Okay, so what? Like giving up my daily latte?
Well, maybe not every day, but a few times a week.
Hmm.
Or choosing a potluck with friends over takeout. Little things add up.
That's true. Those little expenses can sneak up on you.
Right. And here's a trick one article mentioned. Think about those unexpected bonuses throughout the year. Tax refunds, work bonuses, maybe even cash gifts.
Okay, yeah, those are nice.
Right. Instead of spending it all, redirect some or all to your emergency fund.
It's like giving your future self a high five.
Exactly. You still get to enjoy some of it, but you're also building that safety net.
Okay, so we've talked about building the emergency fund. Now, what about actually using it? What counts as a real emergency? Asking for a friend who might have a bit of an online shopping habit.
Oh, I know those sales can be tempting. Here's a good rule of thumb. Would this expense derail my finances if I didn't take care of it right away?
Okay, so a medical bill, car trouble, those definitely count.
Exactly. But
Ye-
that new phone, probably not an emergency.
Right, those non-essentials can wait. It's about having that clear separation.
Exactly. Don't let the little things deplete the big safety net you're building. Think of it like a financial first aid kit. You wouldn't use those bandages for a paper cut, right?
That's a good way to put it. Save it for when you really need it. Speaking of which, where do we keep this financial first aid kit?
High-yield savings accounts, remember. Safe, accessible, and it earns a little extra while it sits there.
Perfect. So to wrap things up, building an emergency fund is what, like building any good habit? Takes time, takes consistency, a little strategy.
Absolutely. But the payoff, that feeling of security, of control over your finances, totally worth it.
Totally agree. And you never know, maybe that peace of mind will inspire you to take a leap you've been putting off, like starting that business or taking that dream trip.
There you go. Now we're talking.
Right. So there you have it. Everything you need to start building your own financial safety net. Remember, even small steps lead to big wins when it comes to your financial well-being. Until next time.